How to Steal a Dog, Chapter 6. My stomach was flopping around like crazy as we made our way through the neighborhoods of Darby. I couldn't hardly wait to see which house would be ours. But when Mama turned onto a dirt and gravel road, I started to get a bad feeling. The car squeaked and bounced up the narrow, winding road, deeper and deeper into the woods. When we passed a faded, handwritten sign nailed to a tree, my bad feeling got worse. Keep out. Private property. Are you sure this is right? I said to Mama. She clutched the steering wheel and sat up straight and tense. Yes, Georgina, she said. I know what I'm doing, okay? Then, just as I thought my bad feeling couldn't get any worse, we rounded a curve and I saw a house just ahead of us. A ramshackle old house with boarded up windows and the front door hanging all cocked-eye on its rusty hinges. Mama stopped the car and we all three stared in silence at the wreck of a house. The tar paper roof was caved in and covered with rotting leaves and pine needles. Prickly-looking bushes grew thick and dense across the front, while kudzu vines snaked their way up the chimney and across the roof. Well, Mama said, it ain't Shangri-La, but it's better than nothing. I couldn't believe my ears. That's the house we're gonna live in, I said. It's just temporary. Mama turned the engine off and started throwing stuff into a cardboard box on the seat beside her. Beverly Jenkins over at the handy pantry knows the owner, and she said he won't care if we stay here for a while. Toby started crying. I don't want to, he whined. Hush up, Toby, Mama said. She got out and tried to push through the bushes that grew across the front of the house. Come on, y'all, she said. Let's check it out. I crossed my arms and slumped down in the seat. This just beat it all. First, I had to go and get a daddy who acted mean all the time and just up and left us. Now I had a mama who had gone plump crazy. Come on, Georgina, Mama called. It's not that bad. She had managed to get to the front of the door and had pushed it open to peer inside. Really, y'all, she said. We can clean it up and make it nice. Toby was sniffling and I knew he was waiting on me to make the first move. I bet there's snakes in there, I called out through the car window. Mama had disappeared inside, but her voice came drifting out to us. There's no snakes. There's even some furniture. Come on. I looked at Toby and he looked at me. You think there's really snakes in there? He said. Snakes and worse, I said. Probably rats and spiders and dead stuff. Toby started wailing. Mama came out and made her way back to the car, pushing the bushes aside to make a path. Come on, she said, opening the door and gathering up the box and trash bags and stuff. No, I said. I'm staying here. No, Toby said. I'm staying here. Mama slammed the box down and yanked the back door open. Listen here, she hollered. I'm doing the best I can. At least we'll have a roof over our heads and some room to spread out. It won't be for long. How long? I said. She sighed. Not long, she said. I almost have enough for rent, but most places want a deposit too. You two just don't get it. Her voice started getting louder until she was hollering again. You think all I gotta do is snap my fingers and bingo. She pounded on top of the car. There's the rent, and there's the deposit, and there's the gas for the car, she yelled. And snap, there's electricity and water and phone. Not to mention food and clothes and doctors and stuff. She kicked the car when she yelled the word stuff. Toby and I jumped. Now get out of the darn car and come inside, she said. Then she picked up the box and started back through the bushes toward the house. I gathered up my pillow and our beach towel wall. Come on, Toby, I said, let's go. The house smelled damp and moldy. The floor was littered with leaves and acorns. In the front room, a lumpy couch stood underneath the plywood-covered window. Mice or rats or something had chewed through the fabric to the foam stuffing beneath. Stacks of yellowing newspapers were piled in one corner. 2 empty cans of pork and beans sat on a rusty wood stove. I followed Mama into the kitchen. The cracked linoleum floor was sticky, made squeaky noises as we walked across it. I wrinkled my nose and peered into the sink. Twigs and dirt that had fallen through a hole in the ceiling flowed in a puddle of dark water. I turned the faucet, but no water came out, not even one little drop. In one corner of the kitchen, a wobbly table was covered with empty soda cans and beer bottles. Cigarette butts were scattered on the floor beneath it. "Our nasty old car is better than this place," I said, but Mama acted like she didn't hear me. She set the box on the table and pushed her hair out of her face. "Y'all bring the rest of our stuff in and let's start cleaning this place up," she said. That night, I lay on the floor on top of piled up clothes, covered with my beach towel, and stared at the mildew ceiling. In one corner, rain leaked in and left a dark spot. I narrowed my eyes. That dark spot looked just like Willie. His ears and his eyes and even his whiskers. That morning, I had pushed him right out of my mind, and now here he was back again, all because of this awful old house. I could hear Mama tossing and turning on the other side of the room. Toby was curled up next to me. Every now and then his leg jerked. I bet he was dreaming about spiders and snakes. I wanted more than anything to go to sleep so I wouldn't have to think about stuff, but I couldn't. I just lay there thinking about how everything had gotten so messed up and all. Then I remembered an Aesop's fable that Mr. White had read us in school. The one about the hares and the frogs. I could still hear him reading the moral at the end. There is always someone worse off than yourself. Huh, I thought. Old Mr. Aesop must have been stupid because he was just flat out wrong. There was nobody, nowhere, worse off than me.